Hey guys, welcome back to All Things Faith, Love and Purpose. My name is Kiratile Tsile and thank you so much for pressing play on my video. I'm back, guys. It's been about 2 months that I've been off from YouTube, and as you can see by the title, I'm doing a life update as to why I have been off from YouTube. So without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. Okay, so number one, the reason why I have been off from YouTube is, first and foremost, as you saw in my previous videos, the quality of my videos had really improved. I went from shooting with my phone and having really good quality videos, and then to not having that anymore because the arrangement that I had with my friend did not work out. He had offered to do video services for me, and then he got really busy with his business. So then obviously that whole thing, initially I got really excited because I felt like, okay, my channel is growing and a lot of you guys were commenting on the quality of my videos, and that really kept me going. Like, it was inspiring. It's okay, I know I'm doing the things. So when it came to now having to shoot with my phone again, I got really demotivated because I felt like, okay, I'm taking one step forward and then 3 steps back, and I felt like, okay, my channel is not really growing as I had thought. That really got me demotivated, and that was initially one of the reasons why I went AWOL. And just as I got out of that whole zone and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do what I can with what I have, I got into a slump, so to say. I've had issues with my mental health. If you've seen my video, my battle with depression, you would understand. But I went into a state whereby my mental health was really the pits, so to say. I went through a season of confusion and I felt really purposeless, and I think depression has that hold on you. But I won't say that I was depressed or anything, but it was just one of those things whereby I would, feel really demotivated, and the things that once inspired me and set my heart on fire no longer did. Like, I would tell myself, okay, today I'm going to do this, I'm going to be productive, I'm going to shoot content, and when time came for me to actually do that, I didn't have the will or the motivation to actually do it. And I would wake up on some days really sad without even having a reason as to why I'm sad. Like, I would just be triggered by the smallest of things. My moods were all over the place. I was always really grumpy and angry, and I couldn't really understand what was going in because there was no specific event that led to that. And so I really just had to take time out and just really be and go through the motions. I think sometimes we do ourselves an injustice by trying to move on from certain things very quick because we are strong black women, but it's important to take time out and go through the feels, and I did that. I went through what I was going through. I cried when I wanted to cry. I allowed myself to be sad when I needed to be, even though I didn't even know what was going through. And I think the thing that really kept me going the most is my partner. He was very supportive and understanding of the season that I was in, and it helps to have a person not always asking you what's wrong, do you want to talk, because some days I didn't even know what was wrong. I didn't even know why I am sad, and that really just had me going into a place of solitude and really just being by myself and isolating myself for my betterment, if that makes any sense. And the third and final thing, and this is me being very vulnerable and honest, guys, me making this video is me taking myself out of the shell. But the third reason as to why I was away from YouTube is because I was very insecure about my body. I know. I've never been a person who has ever had issues with how my body looks. I've always just been a confident person, but I went from weighing about 55 to 60 kgs to now weighing 75 kgs. And it took a toll on me, not because of how I looked, but because of people's comments. A lot of people have assumed that I'm pregnant. A lot of people have said congratulations, we see that there's a bun in the oven. And obviously there's been a lot of people who, when they see me, they're like, oh my gosh, you've gained so much weight. And as time went on, that started feeding into me. Like, when I looked in the mirror, I no longer loved the person that I was seeing. When I was wearing my clothes, I no longer felt confident. And when I would try and shoot content, I felt like I'm too fat, so to say. I felt like I don't look as good. I was no longer that confident, and I didn't really like how I looked. So obviously that's the reason, obviously, as to why I also stopped shooting content. It took me being intentional about working towards the woman that I'm trying to be, which meant, you know, eating better food and making healthier decisions by exercising and cutting off certain things. And yeah, it has been working for me. I have been a bit more confident. I'm not where I want to be, but I am working towards it. So you might ask yourself, why am I even sharing this? But with every content that I post here on my channel, the main aim is for the next person to grow or to learn from my experience. And so I thought that I would tie this up with a scripture that blessed me when I was going through the season, and it is James 1 from verse 2, and it reads, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and He will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask Him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind." So that scripture really encouraged me when I was going through the season that I was in. So to say that when I was going through it, at some point I felt like, how God, why am I going through all of this? It does not make any sense as to why I'm going through this. I felt really discouraged. And then the word encouraged me to say, you know what? Just because I'm Christian, just because I'm saved and I go to church, does not mean that I am immune from going through trials and tribulations. Because the word is saying that those trials and tribulations are an opportunity for me to receive great joy. Because that great joy comes from my faith being tested and my endurance being tested. And what does endurance mean? Endurance means that it is the ability to withstand certain situations, or for you to persevere through certain circumstances. And I think one thing about endurance is that when you have learned to endure certain seasons, it will pour out into other aspects of your life. When you're having problems at work, it will help you to endure and to persevere. Maybe you have like a horrible boss or a horrible colleague. That endurance that you have built will help you to stand firm. Or maybe when you're struggling at school or university, your endurance will help you to continue on, to continue pushing. And I think that's one thing that I learned from this whole season that I was in, because it reminded me that when I go through certain seasons, it's not just happenstance. It's not because God hates me. It's not because I have to go through it, but I know for sure that it's because God is trying to teach me something from it. But how can He teach me from what I'm going through? It had to take me actually going at His feet, going through the word and praying and trying to figure out, God, what are you trying to teach me? It took me being honest and vulnerable with God to let Him know how I feel. You know, just as David did, I did not hide my feelings. I told Him, I'm not liking the season that I'm in. This is how I'm feeling. This is where I'm at the moment. And it took me being vulnerable and honest for me to actually get to a point whereby I started embracing the season that I was in and really just seeking him more and pursuing him. And the last and final point is that being tested does not mean that we abandon God. It says here, a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea. So I think the importance of going through these seasons will teach you or will make you ponder as to why are you worshiping God? Why are you saved? You know, do you love God because he's always blessing you, he's doing great things for you? Or when troubles come, you wander far away from God? And these seasons are an opportunity for us to draw nearer to God. For example, if our parents, hurt us or discipline us, we don't abandon them and say they are horrible parents, we're going to find other parents, but we stick it out. And it should be the same with our good Father. When we go through troubles of any kind, it's an opportunity for us to run to him. It's not an opportunity for us to grow further from him, but it's also an opportunity for us to have some self-introspection as to, are you only worshiping God when things are going great, or do you love him either or? And this season also taught me that you know what, God, I'm stuck with you, not because I am obliged, but because I have seen God at work in my life, and I'm not going to let just one circumstance or one season make me wander far from him. And more than anything, I think one thing that I learned is that self-care is important. Honestly, guys, I can't give from an empty cup. I can't give what I don't have. So it took me being isolated and really pouring back into myself for me to finally get back to the woman that I know myself to be. And yeah, I'm just gonna do what I can with what I have as excellently as I can. And I hope that you will do the same as well, that when you go through different seasons, it will not discourage you, but it will encourage you in the sense that, you know what, your faith is being tested for a reason, and whatever lesson that you will get from this, you will use in your future. It might not even make sense at the moment, but one day, just one day, you will look back and be grateful that you went through certain things, because they have built up your character and they have made you the person that you are today. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and yeah, I hope that whenever you go through a different season, you will be encouraged to just be and to just seek God to see you through that season. Thank you so much for over 3,700 subscribers. We are finally on the road to 4,000 subscribers, and I just want to send out my gratitude to all of you guys. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, then don't forget to like, comment and share. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.